once I got into college, uh, well, my original plan was, I had this idea of being a dentist, and so, with the whole pre-dental, uh, and then I found out that some of those courses were not cut out for me and vice versa. But I did recognize that I, had, good facility with learning language, and, I was taking French. It was chosen for me rather than me choosing it, but it worked. And so I decided to just change to language because I just had much more interest in that, linguistics and, where words come from and all of that. And once I selected that, it was sort of just a common sense thing that when it came time to do graduate work, I would have to figure out a way to do that in the place, in France itself. And it turned out that worked out. I got a grant to go, Fulbright, and was able to stay 2 years there. That's where, even before I went, I was very interested in just being there, seeing art and architecture, Gothic cathedrals, and that. I mean, I had a real fascination with those, and of course that was a whole cultural shock because, first day, we found out about an art exhibit. We go to this little museum. The line is 3 blocks long. There's guys, literally, ditch diggers in the street. They're, shall we say, crude by American standards, but such as, using the wheelbarrow as the restroom, all that kind of thing, right in the public. And, I finally get into the exhibit. Because of my height, I'm able to, thank goodness, I could see over people because it was so jam-packed. And by the time I make the full circuit, lunchtime has come, and the people online allowed these same guys, ditch diggers, to come in, and they're walking through the exhibit commenting on the quality of brushwork and all this. And I'm saying, okay, all right, this is... I almost needed a place to sit down because I'm saying, okay, this is a whole different cultural, milieu than anything, I mean, we're taught that, like art appreciation and opera and all these, that this is some kind of snobbish thing for the rich. And opera is working class entertainment. This is, this the people's culture. It's the, so I would say that was almost like the second most valuable takeaway. I guess the most valuable one was being there as a student, and back in the day when you could do such things, and a lot of people did it. When we had breaks in the semesters and so forth, get on the road, just hitchhike. And, good way to meet people, go different places. And I'll compress a story. One guy picked me up, he asked me what I do. I said, I'm a student. He says, no, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a teacher in the United States. No. I mean, then he explains that, look, he sells school supplies, you see all that stuff in the car, but what he does, he writes music, and much like what you were saying, if, they have a piano, he sings songs with his family. Whether this gets published or goes anywhere, it didn't matter. And I said, like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, well, I used to do art. And the guy looks at me, he almost runs off the road. You used to do art? Like, are you telling me you actually know how to do art and you're not doing it? And I said, okay, I see. This is one of these moments in life. Okay. And when we departed, I said, being a salesman may not be what you do, but you're one hell of a salesman because this conversation was life-changing.